Ever wondered what it would be like to have an exact copy of yourself walking around? Someone that acts like you, talks like you, and pretty much is you. Well, that might be possible one day with human cloning. Cloning is the process of making an exact copy of someone or something. This is relevant to the audience and to you all because I do think that one day human cloning might be possible, and so it is very important to take into account the possibility and the pros and the cons of cloning. I have always been interested in cloning because I think it's crazy to believe that one day I might have an exact copy of myself walking around, or an exact copy of my children, or pretty much anyone just walking around. I think that's very cool. But cloning has been around for many years, and there are many pros and cons that have come from that as scientists continue to make technological advancements from that. So the 3 points that I will be talking about in my speech are the history of cloning, the pros of cloning, and the cons of cloning, and specifically human cloning. So to start off, I will be talking about the history of cloning. Cloning has been around since the 1930s. According to Austin Klein's article on ThoughtCo.com in 1938, Hans Spemann published the results of his 1928 primitive nuclear transfer involving salamander embryos. So I think this is a huge breakthrough for the cloning industry because this is the first successful experiment that involved cloning at all. After that, salamander animals were the first to be cloned, starting with a leopard frog, and then in 1996, Dolly the sheep was the first organism to be cloned from adult cells that was actually born from that. So that is a huge breakthrough, like I said. This is the first successful organism to be born from cloning. But with all of this and with those many animals being cloned, many laws have been created due to cloning, and the United States actually does not have a specific law that bans human cloning, but many states such as Iowa and Michigan have actually created laws that ban all human cloning. But it's interesting because South Carolina actually does not have a ban on human cloning. So after that, I would like to move into the pros of human cloning. So cloning can be used medically. According to Natasha Quinones, cloning can be used to replace failing organs. This will diminish the wait list for organ donors. So this is a huge breakthrough, like I said earlier, because organ donors and organ transplants are huge in society. There's a constant need for them, and I think that cloning of humans will actually increase or decrease the need for those organs. Cloning can also benefit families. Parents who are infertile or unable to have children can create children who are genetically related to them. That is huge because many people suffer from this horrible thing called infertilization, and I think this will create an opportunity for many families. It will also, parents who lost children, it will give them the opportunity to kind of bring their children or their child back in the form of a clone. Cloning can enhance and advance human development by possibly removing bad genes. So this is very important to take into account because there's a lot of bad in this world today, and so human cloning might be able to restore that and get rid of that. But with all of this, there have been many risks that are involved with human cloning, such as human cloning can go against many morals. According to an article on Sciencing.com written by Laurie Brunner, cloning can make a designer baby, giving parents the ability to create a baby however that they want. And this can be a really bad thing because it can cause parents to kind of have this idea that they can create whatever they want in the child that they want. Another con is it increases medical issues. According to Natasha's article, 95% of animal clonings have ended in failure. So imagine the percentage it will create on humans. So the third con that I have is, it goes against many people's ethical beliefs. So being a Christian, you believe God is the only one that can create man, and so human cloning might be going against that. But after discussing the history, pros, and cons, it's interesting to see the impact cloning can have. Cloning is being expanded every day, and scientists continue to make new discoveries, and who knows, maybe one day you might have a clone walking around.